Yeah, so we often get the question of how I ended up from a career in publishing to 15 years as an intuitive healer and now a book coach. And it's a great question. My path is not linear, and I have been guided intuitively. I really trust my intuition on my path, and that's what's made my career so unique. Part of that journey is really, I left the publishing industry and started my intuitive healing practice because of my own miraculous healing journey. And that's what I wrote my book about. My first book is about the holistic fertility method that I used in my private practice with clients. And when I was writing my book, when I wanted to share the methodology outside of my practice with more women, it had a very high success rate. And I knew that I was being called to write the book. And I had a lot of starts and stops. But when I finally committed to writing the book, I finished my manuscript. The last chapter was on Mother's Day. And I realized in that moment that the women, my readers, were really struggling that day. These are women who wanted to be mothers, who were struggling with infertility, and could really use the information in my book. And I knew I wanted to get it into their hands sooner than later. So I chose the path of self-publishing. And even though I had a background in publishing, my professional experience was as an editor and writer in the magazine world. So I really didn't know much about book publishing. I figured out how to self-publish my book. By the time I got the digital ebook version live and in the world, it launched on Labor Day. And I thought that was interesting, Labor Day and Mother's Day. And then literally by the time I finished figuring out how to get the print book in the world, it was 9 months after Mother's Day that I had the physical book in my hand. And I saw the parallels between birthing a baby and birthing a book, and my two worlds then merged. And I realized that the journey of birthing anything new into the world is a creative process, and the book journey is actually very much similar to gestating and birthing a baby. It's just a book. It's a new creative project. I had some colleagues asking me how I wrote my book so fast and got it into the world so fast, and if I could support them. And that's when I realized the transformational process that I took the fertility clients through was actually applicable to people wanting to write a book. And so that transformational process of birthing a new version of yourself, whether you're becoming a mother or a parent or a book author, is key in this bringing something new into the world. And so that's the connection here. And it's a really, being a book coach is not something I saw coming at all. However, when it presented itself, it made a lot of sense because I have this journalism background, and the transformational process of birthing a new tangible thing like a book into the world, as well as a new version of yourself in the transformational coaching I was doing, has been so profound for our authors. Most everyone writing a book comes up against some kind of obstacle on the journey of bringing their book into the world. And it's an inner journey of transformation just as much as it is an outer one to bring a book into the world. And so that's the story of how my worlds merged and I have become a book coach.